Once upon a time, in a land where meadows kissed the forests and the rivers sang to the hills, a couple longed for a child. For years, they waited with hopeful hearts. One day, the woman, gazing out her window, saw a garden full of lush, green rampion, Rapunzel plants, belonging to a sorceress. Overcome with craving, she asked her husband to fetch some. Though afraid, the husband scaled the wall at night and stole the herbs. But on the third night, the sorceress caught him. With sharp eyes and a voice like thunder, the sorceress struck a deal. You may take the rampion, but when your child is born, she belongs to me. Broken-hearted, the couple had no choice. When their daughter was born, the sorceress whisked her away, naming her Rapunzel after the rampion. She raised Rapunzel in a hidden tower deep within the forest, where no doors or stairs existed, only a small window at the top. As Rapunzel grew, so did her golden hair, shimmering like sunlight. She learned songs, poems, and stories from the sorceress but longed for the world beyond. Every day, she sang to the birds and watched the seasons change through her window. But life in the tower was lonely. At first, Rapunzel wept at her fate, asking why she was imprisoned, why she was unloved. Yet, as years passed, she began to change. Instead of despair, she found small joys. A spider weaving its web, a robin tapping at the window, the breeze that kissed her face. She learned to braid her hair and later, to weave beautiful designs into her clothes. She spoke aloud to herself, whispering words of hope. I am not just a prisoner, I am more. I am learning, I am growing, I am becoming strong. The sorceress, though harsh, was not unkind. She brought food, books, and supplies. But she always climbed the tower by calling, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, so I may climb the golden stair. Rapunzel would lower her long braid, and the sorceress would ascend. One day, as Rapunzel sang to the forest, a young prince, wandering in search of adventure, heard her voice. He followed the sound, hiding among the trees, and saw the sorceress call for Rapunzel's hair and climb. Fascinated, the prince waited until the sorceress left. Gathering his courage, he called softly, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. To his astonishment, the golden braid fell. He climbed, heart pounding, and met the girl whose voice had enchanted him. At first, Rapunzel was afraid. But the prince spoke kindly, telling her of the world beyond, of forests, rivers, and sunlit fields. Night after night, he visited, and with each visit, Rapunzel's heart grew braver. But as their bond deepened, Rapunzel wrestled with doubt. Could she leave the tower? Could she face the world she had only dreamed of? One day, her fear escaped her lips. What if I fail? What if I'm not strong enough? The prince took her hands. Rapunzel, you have survived years in a tower. You have more strength than you know. Encouraged, Rapunzel began weaving a ladder from the silk the sorceress brought. Every day, she tied another knot, dreaming of freedom. But as all secrets do, theirs was discovered. One evening, Rapunzel accidentally spoke of the prince, and the sorceress' fury was like a storm. She cut off Rapunzel's hair and banished her to a distant desert, leaving her to wander, alone and heartbroken. Yet in the desert, something extraordinary happened. At first, Rapunzel wept bitterly. The sun scorched her skin, and hunger gnawed at her. But as the days passed, she remembered her own words, the strength she had nurtured in the tower. She learned to find water from roots, food from plants, and shelter from rocks. She sang to the moon and danced with the wind. I am not broken, she whispered to the stars. I am becoming. Meanwhile, the prince, returning to the tower, found only the sorceress waiting. Blinded by thorns as he fled her wrath, he wandered the world, broken and lost. Years passed. One day, as Rapunzel walked the dunes, she saw a man stumbling, weary and blind. Recognizing the prince, she ran to him, and her tears fell upon his face. Miraculously, his sight returned. Overjoyed, they embraced. Together, they journeyed back, not to the tower, but to the prince's kingdom. Rapunzel, once a captive, became a queen. She ruled with wisdom, compassion, and a heart forged in solitude. But most importantly, Rapunzel never forgot the lessons of the tower. She built schools and hospitals, places where the forgotten were seen and the lonely were comforted. She became a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest places, the human spirit can rise. Years later, when asked how she survived all those years, Rapunzel would smile softly and say, "The tower taught me that freedom begins within." Moral of the story: true freedom and strength come from within. Even when we face loneliness, setbacks, or captivity, we can cultivate resilience, kindness, and hope. Life's hardships can become the soil in which our greatest qualities bloom. Please subscribe and like for more motivation stories. Thanks for subscribe this channel.